How you doing? Welcome to today's video. Today, I want to talk about 3 rules to making huge progress when you stop drinking alcohol. In this video, I'm going to talk about intelligent design. We're going to talk about the law of change, the learning cycle, and how we move through the stages of change, how we move through the stages of change. One of the things I learned earlier on in this journey was a Stoic principle of remember that this too shall pass. And this is basically the principle that everything changes except for the law of change, which is the law of change, right? So no matter what happens in life, we used this earlier on in the program, that if you don't make the changes happen for you, then the changes are going to happen anyway. So you might as well try and put some thought and effort into making the changes that you want to happen, right? So this is the trick, is to use what we call intelligent design to make your changes yours, to make them as personal as possible. Use your intelligence that everyone has in order to step forward. One of the problems that we find over and over again is that people don't have that belief in themselves. So we were talking about a couple of videos ago, they conceive it, believe it, and then you can achieve it. But if you can't think about it in your own mind, if you can't see yourself in this position in the first place, then there's no way you're going to be able to believe that you can get there. And then that precludes all achievement. So you can't achieve what the end. So the first thing is to think about where you want to be, put yourself into that position in your mind before you get there. And when you can design that yourself, and it has to start off with just as simple as possible, just going through it very, very simply, and doing it step by step. If you can't see 5 years into the future, then go for a year. If you can't see a year into the future, go for 6 months or a month, whatever it is, wherever you can see, right? And as I said earlier on in a couple of videos earlier as well, that there's one of the most difficult parts of this journey is to get the experience of not being able to drink, of not having drank, and that first 30 days gives you that. So whatever you're going through, it's not going to last, and it's particularly relevant to us when we're stopping drinking alcohol from that early stage, when things are not going so well. Now, it's also helpful to have a look at that idea of this too shall pass from the positive perspective as well, that don't be looking for happiness all the time. That is it's a pipe dream. It's impossible to find. And you're going to burn yourself out really rapidly if you're looking for that. And the only way that you can even come close to finding that is in instant gratification. And then it only lasts in the very short term. So if you're looking for long term, you're looking for a balance, you're looking for that sort of balance between pain and pleasure. Every time you find pleasure, the balance always tips back to a bit of pain. And depending on how much pleasure you get, the more that balance is going to tip backwards and forwards. So when you have the pleasure of going out and spending a lot of money on your credit card, it gives you that pleasure, but it balances right back over then when you have to pay back the money, and you're paying back a lot more than you would do otherwise. So think about that everything is going to pass. That's part of this learning process. It's part of the rules that you have to keep in mind if you want to make progress in life, is that the discomfort of the moment is going to pass. If you're looking for that happiness, that huge happiness, go for contentment rather than happiness as your goal. Second thing I want to talk about is called the learning cycle. And it's something that we make use of on Habits Feed too a lot. The learning cycle is preparation, transition, and transformation. So you go through this preparation phase where you're just preparing your mind mostly. You're also preparing your body, preparing your environment, preparing the people around you. It's all an effort to try and get everything as comfortable as possible or as in line as possible. A lot of the stuff that you're going to do in terms of preparing your mind is involved in trying to shift your mindsets a little bit so that your mind is prepared for what is going to happen next. Like I said, everything that happens in the future is fiction until it happens, and you don't know how it's going to turn out. A lot of people defeat themselves in their mind before they start out because they're telling themselves the bad stories, right? And if you're telling yourself enough bad stories, then it can often just stop you from making any progress. So that first thing is preparation. The next stage is the transition. Before you can move into that new self that you want to get into and live that new life that you want to live, you've got to go through that transition period where you're adjusting, your life is adjusting. Like I said, fiction is okay. What you have in your head, the fantasy of what life is going to be like. A lot of people look at that from the other side of the coin, which is the Disneyland. Oh, if I can only do this and I can only do that, then blah, 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 this is going to happen. The reality is more like you're going to get knocks and kicks and stabs to your ego, as well as the highs and the benefits that you get from, especially when you take something toxic out of your system like alcohol. So you need to transition through that period where you are leaving a lot of your old life behind, killing a lot of the way you think about yourself. And then once you've done that, then you leave yourself open to the transformational process. And the transformational process, as I said, is it's like you're trying to get to that best possible version of yourself within the person that you are. So you're all the time trying to look for improvements, small improvements, and you're moving yourself up physically, mentally, emotionally. All right. And then the whole process then is repeated again. So if you do it with alcohol, then you have to do it again with cigarettes, or you have to do it again with your diet. And it's this life process that we all go through anyway. So you can really start to put that learning cycle into effect with the quick start guide, the quick start preparation guide that we've done over on the channel. You can find that down below. It helps you to just prepare to stop drinking alcohol, prepare for any stage of this journey. You know, if you want a refresher, it's a good way to do that because it's less than an hour in length. And yeah, it'll just, the whole point of it is to give you, put you into a different frame of mind, to give you some clarity, to give you some confidence, and to help give you the courage to step across and into the next stage of the journey. So, you know, it's just one of those things. If you want to help out the channel, you know, if you find that we're offering you a useful service here on YouTube and you don't want to go over, I mean, the best place that you can help us and we can help you is over on the platform Habits V2. We've got a lot of stuff over there. We've got Zoom calls, and we've got our program, which takes you through 14 days of preparation and then a full year of training to try and get you through those stages of transformation and yeah, the initial phases of transition first. But if you don't want to do that, you can help us by clicking on the join button below this video, and there's a couple of different options there. Or you can go over to our Patreon account. We haven't got many people, we just set it up over there. So and you can help us out there. That's, the link is down below in the description. So to get on and to make progress now, the third part of this is just to make progress. You're always going to be moving from a chaos to stability. And that is the point of the transition. You know, everything that you go through in transition is about going from that preparation stage, and you've got a certain stability when you're drinking. I mean, it's a perverted sort of a stability, but it is a stable way of doing things. Now, it's a stability that is slowly killing you and all the negatives that go with that. But mentally, it's a path that you know well. So it's very difficult to get off that known path and to step out into the unknown. And the unknown is always going to be chaotic. And that's what we're trying to do. So we're moving you through a period of chaos. We're moving you through into a period of stability, but you have to go through this certain insecurity before you can get to security again. You know, you've got to go through that discomfort. You've got to go through that need for your old comforts and battle against that in your own mind. And through that discomfort and through that need for comfort, that pursuing comfort again. So, you know, the transition is not just about leaving stuff behind. It's about moving towards stability, moving towards the comfort. And it's that the potential of future stability and the potential of future comfort, and much better than what you had before, right? This is where you're going to come out with your progress. And this is where you build your new habits and your new behaviors and all that kind of stuff. So like I said, if you haven't got the QSG yet, quick start guide, then click down below. That's free. It's not charged anything, so you don't have to pay a penny for that. As a final message then, just remember that this too will pass, right? No matter what it is, usually discomfort, but comfort as well. You know, the comfort that you're in it is going to pass, you know. So I think one of the biggest blessings that you can give to yourself is the acceptance of comfort and the acceptance of discomfort in life, and the fact that you start to enjoy it. You start to enjoy the next level of change, knowing that you're going to go through a period of discomfort and knowing that you can do it. You know, having that confidence in yourself, having the confidence not only in your own self and the fact that you're strong enough to do this, but in the confidence in either your own abilities that you have now to do this, or to have the capacity to learn, or to find where you can find that information to move forwards. You know, there's a cycle and a system for learning. It is that preparation, transition, transformation level of doing things. You know, keep that in mind and just stick to it. You know, we all want to move into that stable life. We all want to move into that life of comfort, into our comfort zones. And sometimes we have to get out of those comfort zones and get out of that comfortable way of thinking and into the chaos in order to make the changes happen. So take good care of yourself. I will speak to you again in the next video. Onwards and upwards. Bye now.